Hi everyone, it's Jill. Today we are going to make strawberry lemon blondies. Also, have you subscribed to our channel yet? If you haven't, please subscribe because we are bringing you 2 videos a week. Sometimes I surprise you and give you 1. So we're gonna get started making our strawberry blondies. Are you guys ready? Now some people don't know what blondies are. Actually, blondies are brownies without the chocolate. Everyone loves brownies. Some people, don't know why, don't like chocolate, but also when it comes to summertime, blondies kind of make a really nice cookie bar. So we're really basically using a brownie recipe and using other ingredients to make them taste delicious. And today, what we're gonna do is make a strawberry lemon blondie. Now the lemons are optional. If you go to kidsbakingclub.com and go to the blog, you'll see it at the top, print the recipe, and you'll see that there's an option of lemon or not. So, are you guys ready to get started? This recipe is really cool. The first ingredient, now this is something you have to do ahead of time, and that's where you take 1 stick of butter and 1 cup of brown sugar and you melt it. But you have to let it cool, because if you don't cool it, what's gonna happen with the eggs? Right, they're gonna cook when you put them in the hot butter. We don't want that, right? We don't want cooked eggs in our blondies. So what I did was I melted the butter and I went ahead and put the brown sugar in, and now it's all melted and all cooled off. Not many recipes call for that. Have you guys ever seen that before? Yeah, I don't see a lot of recipes like that. So I got ahead and put there. Let me get my towel, because I got stuff. Remember, we always have to have a towel next to us. I'm just gonna go ahead and stir that a little bit, and then it calls for a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. So we're gonna take our 1/2 cup, pour that in. We're gonna go ahead and mix that really well. Now this recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla, but if you're gonna be putting lemon juice in it, I would only do 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then the rest is the lemon juice. So we're gonna take our vanilla, pour it on here. I'm just gonna do 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Go ahead and mix it in. As you can see, I like to mix as I go. I like to make sure that all the ingredients are incorporated because they're gonna bake. You know, when you cook, you're constantly stirring, right? But when you bake, you've got to make sure when it goes into the oven that it's all worked together, because then it bakes evenly. Now this is called a strainer, and I'm going to take my lemons. I already cut them in pieces, and I just want to make sure I get no seeds. So I'm just going to squeeze this lemon. Have you ever had a cut on your fingers and you try to squeeze a lemon? I did that recently, and oh my goodness, it was very, very painful. Just squeeze that in. Fresh lemon is the best. I actually drink lemon water every single morning. It's so good, so refreshing. So now my seeds are here, and I'm gonna set them over here. And again, my hands are wet. Remember, we always wanna bake with dry hands. Again, I'm gonna mix that. And because I know that this batter is nice and cool because I let that butter cool, I can add the eggs in now. It's 2 eggs. Let me do another one. And put your thumbs in there. Again, dry your hands. I'm getting a lot of use out of this towel. I'm gonna take this bowl to the side, and now I'm gonna get my dry bowl. These are my dry ingredients. This is 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. You can go gluten-free if you want. And 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, if you've ever heard of self-rising flour, have you guys ever heard of that? All self-rising flour really is flour with baking powder. Some people like that, especially if they make bread. So basically, we just made self-rising flour. All right, now we're gonna add this into our wet ingredients, my favorite part. I always tease kids. I always say it's kind of like a guy and a girl, and they get married, right? There was the guy and the girl, and they got married. So now they're getting married. We're gonna marry the 2 together and make a nice batter. Now I've already preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Just stir that, get your arms in there. So now I've got this nice yummy batter right here. There's the blondie part. See how it's blonde color? Now we're going to add our, instead of chocolate chips, we're adding white chocolate chips. We're gonna add those in. And you can use other ingredients, like what about butterscotch chips? Have you ever had those? Or Reese's Pieces peanut butter chips? Those all work just fine. So now we're going to drop this into our pan. And I'm using parchment paper. If you're not using parchment paper, you can spray it with nonstick sprayer or oil it with some butter or some oil. We're just gonna dump this in. Gonna look amazing. Go ahead and dump that all in. The fun part that kids love to do is spreading. Kids love to spread. Just gonna spread that all in there. Sometimes if the pan is a little too big, which it does look like it is, what I'm gonna do is to move this over so that it gets a nice, and I'll show you what I did here, because this pan is a little too big. So if you can see, do you see how I did that? So this would probably be a 9 by 9 pan to do this. Now what I'm gonna do is to make it the strawberry, so I'm taking some strawberry jam and I'm just doing little dollops on it. I'll show you in just a second. So you just kind of make little dollops of strawberry. And then what you want to do you see how I did the little dollops? Then you want to just swirl it into the brownie. Did I say brownie? Blondie. Okay. And then we're going to top it with sliced almonds. We're going to put this in. You don't have to do the almonds. We're going to, excuse me, we're going to put this in a 350 degree oven for about 18 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes. And then, excuse me, then when it comes out, we're going to cut it into bars, and I will post on our Facebook page exactly what they look like when they come out of the oven. So wasn't that fun today? This is a really beautiful recipe. When they come out, they're going to be so gorgeous, and just display them on a plate and they'll be yummy and delicious. And I want to thank you for joining me today, and we will see you next time.